Now, he continues to try to justify this ludicrous spending and say Donald Trump is a liar because not every cent of the $80 million went to housing illegal immigrants, and somehow ends up making his case even worse. Watch.
It was not to house them in luxury. Also, as you might imagine, it was to convert an old Manhattan hotel into a kind of modern-day Ellis Island where migrants were processed, given a health check, and offered temporary shelter and help.
Migrants are connected to a case manager who will help them decide next steps. If they want to connect with family or friends in a different state, the city will help them get there. If they need a shelter bed, the city will then assign them to a shelter site and help them get started on filing their asylum papers.
When migrants do get a place to sleep, the city comptroller says they observe the federal program's cap on hotel and shelter prices. That cap is currently $12.50 a night. Yes, you heard that right. $12.50 a night in New York City. Okay, those are the facts. But within hours of Musk's tweet, the Trump White House fired FEMA's chief financial officer and 3 others for dispersing the legally allocated funds to New York City. Again, congressionally appropriated funds to cover an ongoing approved activity.
Is it really that much better that the money wasn't just being spent on housing? It was actually being spent on free health care, free legal services, free plane tickets to wherever you want, while the American taxpayers get free nothing, but are funding this nonsense. The mainstream media has put itself in such a weird position being so anti-Trump that it's actually now defending government wasteful spending and corruption. And the other reason is because they can't stop lying. So you heard the claim that he made that they only spend $12.50 per night. That came from his mouth on television. But a report from the Associated Press, which is a left-wing outlet, proves that that number is about 15 times lower than what is actually being spent. It reads, the office of Mayor Eric Adams said on Monday it received 2 payments from the federal government related to the migrant assistance last week, totaling over $80.5 million. One payment was for $58.6 million, and the other was for $21.9 million, under 2 tranches of the Shelter and Services Program. City spokesman Liz Garcia said, the money covered reimbursements for services delivered between November 2023 and October 2024, and included reimbursements for hotels, security, food, and other costs. About $19 million in reimbursement claims were for hotel costs. Garcia said the city has never paid luxury rates for hotels. That's backed up by a report last year from the city comptroller Brad Lander, who is now running for mayor in a bid to unseat Adams, which showed that the municipal government paid on average $152 a night for rooms, the vast majority outside of Manhattan. Some of the Manhattan rooms were around $200 per night. But that's not a luxury rate. Rates for 5-star hotels in Manhattan for this coming weekend run between $400 a night to well over $1,000. So they put this out as a way to try to debunk Trump's claim that they were paying to house migrants in luxury hotels, but ended up just exposing that they're still paying $150 to $200 per night, much more than the $12.50 claimed by Chris Hayes. And now there's 2 scenarios. Either the federal government is only reimbursing $12.50 per night, which means New York taxpayers are covering the rest, or scenario 2, which is much more likely, is that FEMA took money from its disaster fund to help pay for these offsets. That's why there was no money available for the Hurricane Helene victims.